Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today my topic for this video is the coding convention for the Pythons so that any freshers can work in the Pythons and can follow the proper naming convention, coding convention and best practices as per the industries and as per the faculty. So let me begin with the comment first. And so here in the comment are the plain text written by the software engineers or programmers to add the readability into the codes. Basically into the industries, like if you work in the big companies, in the big teams, then there is a possibility like the multiple members working in the collaboration in the same project and multiple members work on your codes. They need to understand your codes. They can inherit your classes and they can update your codes, your functions. So in that case, it is recommended to use the commenting so that anyone can understand your code easily. So here are the types of the comment, and these comment are like the ignored by the Python compilers during the run times. So these are the three types: inline comment, block comment, and docstring. These are the three type of the comment in the Pythons. So let me start with the inline comment. Inline comment, basically we provide the comment into the single lines as shown here, and we use the hash. So here you can see like the get all prime numbers from 0 to 100. So this is one line comment, and it's like the giving us the clear picture like the below code is using to give us the prime numbers from 0 to 100. And this is the course. So like the to explain the codes, how the code is work, how for loop, if loop is work is out of scope for this video. This video only for the naming conventions. I will explain how these conditions is work, how we define the function later. But here is our focus only on the commenting part. So you can see here, like from this one line comment, we get the idea how the below function is work, what is the purpose of below functions. And you can see here, once we call the below functions, it printing the prime numbers from 2 to 100. And let's move to the next one is the block comment. In case of block comment, suppose we have the requirement to write a long comment, long phrase, because in the industry there is a possibilities like we write the complex code or lengthy codes, and we need to write long comments for that. So to write a long comment and to add the readability into the comment, also we use the block comments. Basically, we divide the comment into the multiple lines. So you can see here like our comment is start from here, check if the name is, then continue into the second line, palindrome or no. You can see here. In this way, we can write the block comments. And this block comment is giving the clear pictures, like the below code is only checking if a name is palindrome or no. And this way is code is work. And if we feed input is palindrome, then it's checking this is a palindrome, otherwise no. But so here we are discussing only the comment. I am skipping here the coding part because we are interested only into the commenting part. So here how we define the block comment. So let me move to the Python docstring. Here Python docstring is very important, and Python docstring is providing a easy way to associating a document with the class, with the function, with the methods, while defining any functions, any complex functions, while creating any complex methods. It's for providing a document. Basically, Python is attaching a document with the class, and we specify those comment similar to our inline comment or block comment. We provide Python docstring comment also with the source codes. So here are the rules while creating any docstrings, like the docstring should be beginning with capital letters. Docstring should include some summaries and also the descriptions, and description should be short. And in case of we require to a long phrase, long paragraphs, then it is recommended to add the readabilities. We can add the blank lines into the docstrings. And we can declare a docstring with the help of triple single quotes and triple double quotes here. So this way we can define a docstring within a class, within the function, or within a method. And we can access a docstring with double underscore doc, again double underscore methods. We can access this way. And let me show you how we can declare into the code, how we can declare a docstring into the code. This is a function. Here we are calculating the mean, and here are the docstring. You can see here, this is the docstring. They start with the triple quotes, triple quotes here, like these are the triple double quotes. And This is the summary of these functions, calculate mean for the integer values, and this is the description. Basically, this function is taking the integer iterator of the integers. Iterator is the data type of the integers. It's creating the like the collections of integers similar to the list we are passing here, and then we are calculating the means here. And here are the parameter details, like the argument one is the iterator, and this iterator is including the value of integers, and it's returning the result mean value in the float format. So you can see here, this is the way how we can declare a doc strings. And here are the like the double underscore doc. This is the methods. From this we can access the doc string related to any functions, and once we execute this function, this way like this whole document is returning. This is the summary of the functions, then descriptions, then parameter details, then the return value. So this is the way how doc strings is work, and it's adding the more readabilities, and so that anyone can use our code in the futures, and they can get the idea with single commands how function is work, how our method is work. So this is the way how Python is work in case of commenting, in case of multiple line command, single line command, block command, and docstring. Let's we move to the Python indentation. So Python indentation is very important, and is basically referred to the space in the beginning of the codes. Basically, Python use the indentations to indicate a block of code into the functions, into the for loops or if loops. It basically indicates this is the for block of codes. And in case of C and Java, we use the brackets to indicate the block of code. But in case of Python, we are using the indentations. So you can see here, this is the functions you can see here, and we use here two white space. You can see white space one, then two, for the to define this code or block is under to this particular function. So this way, like the Python is for to use the indentations. Then this is the code under the for loop. You can see here. Then this is the code under to the if loop. Then this is the second for loop. So in this way, indentation is working to the Python. So let me move to the naming convention and coding styles. So here I have prepared a one PPT here, one slide. So let me jump to those slides first. So here are the slides regarding the few naming convention and coding convention recommended by the PEP 8. So let me begin with naming conventions for the Python. So agenda is same for these recommendations, like from the industry point of view, like once we work in the industries, like we work in the big teams, so that our code should be meaningful, should be readable, human readables. Anyone can easily update our code. Anyone can easily inherit our classes, and anyone can easily understand our method. So that's the goal for these naming conventions. So let me start with here. Like as we know, while developing any softwares, for example, the classical software or AI-based software, any software, we need to define lot of items like the variables. We need to work on the variables. We need to define lot of variables, function, classes, and even AI models. So in case of package, constant, so number of things like in the industries, like we need to develop a big frameworks while developing any softwares. So that's why we need to take care of the naming rules, naming conventions, coding rules, so that anyone like in futures, like anyone has required to update our codes, to reuse our codes, to inherit our classes, so that they can easily do things. So here are the like the PEP recommendations, so that we can write a clean code. So first one is define a meaningful names, like the name should be meaningful, which give the clear picture to readers, like what's the uses of this variable, this function, this class, what is the use of these functions, what is the use of class, those defined by the class names, function names, variable names. And like the name should be descriptive, it make a clear pictures what the object reference. So as I defined earlier, also like the name should be correct, name should be descriptive in nature, and please avoid to use like the single letter names like the I, O, capital I. So there's a higher chance of mistake in uh, variables. You can see here, it's like we use here in this image O equal to 2. But if we read this, and anyone can assume like, oh, we are defining 0, we are changing the 0, we are reassigning 2 to 0. So these kind of mistakes, like the chance of mistakes in this kind of single letter. So please avoid this kind of variables while working on any software. And further, these are the few rules while working into the Pythons. For example, you are defining a functions, you are creating a function, then use lowercase single word or multiple words, and separate the words by using the underscore to add the readabilities, because our primary goal is the readability here. And you can see here few example like the functions, my underscore function. So this way we can define the functions. And similar to function, we can define variables also. And in the variables, we can use the single letters, words, and number of words, and we can separate word with the underscores. And you can see here like the X is the single letter variable, then we have the variable with one word, and then this is our variable with multiple word, and this is separated by underscore. So this way we can define the variables. And it is recommended to use the word or multiple word variable instead of single letters. And in case of like the our output, our variable is consumed by the another functions, then we can use the like the single word variables. And let's move to the classes. In case of class, we follow the camel case practices. In case of camel case, like the start of each word with the capital letters, and please don't use the underscore here. So this is the example like the model or my class. In this way, we can define the class in camel case. And in case of methods, again, we can use a lowercase single word or multiple words, and we can separate word with the underscores. So you can see here, like we can define the methods like the class dot methods or methods in this way. And in case of constant, like we need to add the readability here. So we need to separate the constant from the variable. So we can use here the uppercase single letters or uppercase multiple words, or we can separate the multiple word with the help of underscores in uppercase. So you can see here, this is the one example constant, my underscore constant, my long constant. So this way we can define the constants, and this way we can differentiate the constant into the code from the variables. And in case of modules, so in modules also we can use the lowercase single word or multiple word. We can also use the underscore to add the to add the readabilities here. And in case of package, we can again use the lowercase, but don't use the underscore here. In case of package, you can see here package, we can define package in this way. So here are the few references. In case of you have any doubt, any issue, you can refer to direct official website of PEP8. I have provided a link of the PEP8, and you can also refer to one of the blog of Real Python website. And this is very good blogs regarding the naming convention. You can refer to this one also. So let me back to our collaborator notepad. So continuing to the coding convention and naming conventions. So here we can use the white space or blank lines also to add the readabilities, because our primary goal is readability here. And so in case of like the top level function and classes, we can use the two level blank lines. You can see here, like this is the class 1, you can see here. Then we are using the first blank line, then second blank line, then class second. So in this way, we can add the two blank line in the top level function or the top level classes to separate these classes to add the readabilities here. And like in case of functions, we can inside a class, we can use the single lines to separate two functions. You can see here, this is a function 1, then single blank line, and this is the way how we can use the single blank line inside the functions and to separate function inside the class. And to separate the code inside the function, again we can use the single blank lines to add the readabilities. So this is the best practices, and it's recommended to follow this best practice while you are working on the industry level projects. And let's move to the maximum line length and the line breaking for the Python statements. So to add the readabilities, we need to limit the number of characters into the code. Suppose we write a big codes in a single lines, and suppose like 1,000 characters, 2,000 characters, and then it is impossible for any humans to read this kind of code in the single lines, and it's make a great challenge. So to solve this kind of challenge, like the PEP8 is recommended, we should limit to our code to the 79 characters limit. And in case of like we have requirement to continue our course is greater than 79 characters, then we can use the brackets, or we can use the backslash for the continuations of the lines. And we can also use the binary operators, and it should occur before the operators, like the continuation should occur, so we divide the lines before the operators. So here you can see in this function, in this function we use all three options. So in first option you can see here, like we are defining a function, then we are using the bracket here for the continuations, as I defined here. Like we can use the brackets here, and we can use the binary operators as I defined here. Like as per the rule 4, we use the operators here, and we divide the lines before the operator. You can see here, this is the operator, and we divide the line here. Then this is the operator, we divide the line here. So this way we can do. And in this options, you can see here, we can use the backspace as mentioned here. Like we can use the backspace also, and in this way we can use the backspace, and if we print this code, then you can print in the single line. So we can use the backspace also for continuation of the long lines if we exceed the limit of 79 characters. And let me move to the Python inputs. And Python basically take the inputs with the input function input as a strings. You can provide the pass the strings by using this function in the runtimes. Let me execute this one, and you can pass the strings value 1. Let me pass this one, and it's printing now. This one is taking the value as a string with this input inbuilt function in the Python, and it is very useful while working on the industries, while developing any software. And this is the outputs. So in case of output, we can use the Python simple Python statement, and we can print the print the output as a strings. You can see here, and we can also use the formats to provide the multiple strings, to format the multiple strings. And we can also use the string conversions, character conversions in the similar ways. Let me execute this one. If we pass the value here, so you can see here, this way we can pass the strings also here. In this way is printing the values. Like this is the predefined strings in the print statement, and this is the value we pass through the string conversion. And this, and here we are using the curly brackets to pass the value from the format. So you can see here from the format we pass the value here, and we can pass the multiple values from the format. You can see here, like we use the curly bracket, then we assign 0 1. So here basically first value is passed through the 0, then second value is passed through the 1. And let me show you, this way also we use the format. So you can see here in the format we are printing the first value instead of 0, second value instead of 1. So this way we can use the multiple, we can provide the multiple value into the print statement. We can use this way also, and we can also use the keywords along with the this orders, like the 0 1 multiple values, and also we define the keywords here. So you can see here, in this way also we can pass the values. And you can see here, like for the 0 value 1 is passed, for the 1 new is passed, and for the value 3 we provide the keywords here, value 3, and then pass the test, and the test is printing. So this is the way how is Python is work. And for the agenda for this video is only to provide the best practices for the student, for the freshers, so that they can write a clean code or industry level codes while developing any softwares, and so that they can easily work into the industries. So thank you, and please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.